Hey everyone, Techni here with another Sound Blaster product review, and today we have the Sound Blaster X3. And I know some of you out there are like, man, what's really going to make this one stand out, considering we've used the G3, the G6, and the AE9, right? And now, again, coming to the X3 here, I think there's some really cool differences packed into this guy. And again, this one's only coming in at 120 bucks, so it kind of puts it right in the middle of all the other devices there. So that's what we're going to talk about today. The X3 here, number one, some of the features and benefits packed on this device. And then what are some of the main differences I have noticed with this guy compared to, again, the G3 or the G6 or my AE9. Now, first off, so we don't waste anybody's time here, this device can be used on PS4, PC, Mac, and Nintendo Switch. Unfortunately, no go on the Xbox, and I did try it on there, and again, it would not work. So again, just for those devices, what it works for, and I did test it on all of them. Now, as far as functions and design of this device right here, I mean, wow, it just looks incredibly sleek, really nice rounded edges on the bottom, a little bit sharp up top. So for your ports and your buttons on the X3, again, on the top you have your volume wheel, press it down and you can mute the mic right there. And then you also have this mic button, which you can press it in and adjust your mic volume or your side tone. Over here you have mode, which is pretty much you're going to select your EQ settings that you can customly set in the software, which we'll talk about later. Then you have SXFI, which again we'll talk about when we get into the sound. And then over here on the front you have your mic 3.5 and then your headphone 3.5. By the way, you can just plug a gaming headset right into here and your mic will work. You don't have to use a splitter, but it's pretty cool. You can use an external 3.5 mic if you want. When you spin it around, you have all these ports on the back right here if you have a surround sound setup, which is really cool. Again, compared to the other devices, this is the first one to have that right there. You have your optical out and then your USB. By the way, talking about PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, PC, and Mac, all you simply have to do is plug in a USB. That is it. You do not have to use the optical. So now that we just covered all the ports and the functions on the X3 right here, before we jump into sound, which I know is, again, the primary deal with a device like this, right? Again, talking SXFI and then the equalizer settings. Number one, having all these controls on it, whether it be the mic volume, the adjustment, and the mute, and again, your EQ settings right here. This is what truly stood out to me coming from, again, the G3 or the G6. That's where I put this right in between it, because it has a lot of the functions of the G3 that bam, you control on right there, and then again, some of them on the G6 right there. Again, smash down right here. It's really nice to, again, be able to control everything right on the device. So as some of you may know, whenever I test any of my amps, I like testing them with a wide array of headsets right here, going all the way down to our basic gaming headset, the Astro A50s. And again, I ran these straight 3.5 into the X3 here. I also bring them out into my main everyday headset, which is the Audio-Technica ATH M50Xs here, and then also the Beyerdynamic DT770 Pros, the 250 ohm. And talking about going with the 770 Pros over here, the 250 ohms, yes, this guy pushes the heck out of them. This can actually push headphones up to 600 ohms. And talking about the array of headsets and the array of devices we used, again, testing it on all of them from PS4 up to PC, it sounds fantastic across every headset on every different device. And that's where these things really shine. Again, because I can't say, oh, hey, it sounds like this or it sounds like that. That would be more or less like a headset review, right? I'd have to compare this one to this one, not necessarily this to these guys, if you catch my drift right there. Because again, talking about all the functions and everything on this guy, you can get in there and really dabble with it and dial it in to your sound. And that's where the X3 really stands out right here. Number one, talking about getting into the software and being able to have all these features of the higher end devices. The AE9, again, a $300 device, having a lot of that packed in here. As far as your XXB profile that you can adjust. You have the XSFI, that is a tongue twister. You can get in there and dabble with all that, right? But the one little thing that I really like, again, talking about that mode button that was on the front of the device right there, is you can cycle through your EQ settings that you can get in there and select from some many presets, or again, dabble and create your own, which is what I do. And it's so cool being able to press that mode button and cycle through them. And again, the light changes on the device so you know which one you actually have active. None of the other devices had that actually right there. Now on the G3 you could cycle between two, but again, this guy you can cycle between three. Again, my $300 AE9, you cannot do that. As simple as that feature sounds, it's really not, and it's really nice to have it on a device like this. And that also goes with the mic function. functions right here. Again, you can get into the software and really dial it and tune it into your preferred liking, right? If you want that mic sound a little more natural, you can. And the cool thing about it, again, you have that mute button, bam, right on the volume wheel of the device, and it starts flashing blue whenever you know you're muted. You can also go down here and press your microphone button and adjust your mic volume and your side tone and everything. Really cool, again, to be able to control everything right here on the device. And another cool thing about that, talking about that software, this guy can sync up Bluetooth to your phone. Now, no, it does not do Bluetooth audio, so don't think that. What it's doing is gonna sync through your phone, and again, you can control some of the functions, whether it be your EQ settings, and as far as the SXFI, that twists me up big time right there. But again, you can adjust and set that right there. And as you're changing stuff on your phone, it'll sync right through to the device. You actually see the colors change right there. It's really cool. Again, that's kind of talking G3. The G3 had a little bit of that, right? That's what you can have here. No, it is not the complete software suite right there, you know what I mean? But it's nice to have that ability to, bam, have those adjustments right there on the device. So if you don't have a PC or whatever, which, I mean, most of us have something right there, we can go in there and just set it. But say if you're on console, you can just use your phone, bam, and adjust it, and it's set right there, right while you're on console. Now, one other thing that's different about this device, again, compared to the other ones, is the SXFI feature on this. And I noticed it being a pretty big selling point on Sound Blaster's website right there, so I went in and dabbled with it. You all know I don't like a lot of fake kind of just manipulated sound, whether it be like 7.1 on headsets, even 7.1 on devices like this. I mean, yes, these make it sound a lot better than the basic headset, but I still don't think it's true 7.1 because, again, it's coming through your headphones, you know what I mean? You'd have to get into that surround setting, actual surround speakers, to have a true setup. So now, talking more about the SXFI right here, number one, you had to get onto your phone, create an account, then measure your face and then your ears and everything. And number one, it was quite hard having to hold the phone out here because it's like, all right, well, it's not really catching it. So you look over here next. Anyways, it was quite a pain to set up. Number one, you know, you got to create an account, you got to measure your ears, then you got to sync it up to this device, sync up your account, and then it will get activated on it that way. So kind of a pain to set up. And talking about the sound of the SXFI right here, I did not like it. It was like, you know, that fake 7.1 you get in gaming headsets times like 10. Have you ever been to like a playground or a park and they got those little tubes you can talk in, and then you hear someone off in the distance in the other tube? If you catch my drift right there, I got a 5-year-old, so I go to the park a lot. But anyways, if you're ever at a park and you talk to those and you hear the person on the other end through that tube, that is exactly what it sounded like. I thought I set something up wrong, so I went ahead and measured differently and did all this settings differently and everything. Again, I could not stand it. It sounded like this distant, just not really echoey, because everything was there, but just distant, again, through a tube like that is the best way to explain it. So as far as the SXFI right there, no, I was not a fan of it. But again, as we know with sound, and you know, I get it a lot, like people ask me, hey man, what's your EQ setting on this headset? I mean, your preferred sound is going to be way different than mine or his or hers or whatever, you know what I mean? All of us are going to be completely different. So for me, no, I did not like the SXFI. You may, but again, it just sounded really funky to me. So as you can see right there, no, it's not just another Sound Blaster product, right? There's a lot of differences within each of these devices, and I love it. That's like with tech in general. Talk about graphics cards, right? You got this massive price range for like each you know, couple $100. You get a 10 frames per second increase, right? That's kind of where I'm putting like these Sound Blaster products, right? You got some of these features and everything right down here, going from the G3 again up to the AE9, and then you got some of these products right in the middle right here, and they're all fantastic. Again, it's nice being able to pick, okay, what do you want? What features do you want? And that's how much you can spend. So yeah, as far as the X3 right here, I mean, I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic device, very simple to use, again, with all the features on it. I keep saying it over and over, but again, I love being able to control everything right on it right here. Now, me reviewing so many Sound Blaster products here, there is some things I'd like to see in the future. Again, like the biggest shining point to this one is being able to control everything right on it. But what I would like to see in maybe some future models is maybe like a digital screen right up here. Kind of like what we see on the Arctis Pro headsets. You can adjust that EQ, bam, right on it right there. Your surround sound, all of the different settings, right on a nice little, I'm not talking a fancy LED screen or anything, like just a nice little screen right here to be able to dial and adjust everything right there. Maybe the basic settings like we see on our phone. Again, it's easy being able to control it on a Bluetooth on your phone, which is very easy, but I would like to have a little screen right there just as some shortcuts. I don't know, maybe in the future, Sound Blaster, huh? But hey, that's my review on the Sound Blaster X3 right here. We have another complete win from Sound Blaster. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know which one you're gonna look at picking up right here. I remember with the G3, a lot of people scooped that up and they were just absolutely blown away with that. Again, this is kind of like a step up right here. So let me know which one you're going with or which one you use and what you think about them. But hey, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope I was able to help you out, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for some future tech videos. Hey, I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye now.